Hey there, I'm Mike Gillette, your host, and this is Soundscape Series 1937 Part 10, Episode 42 of When Radio Ruled. This podcast is a montage of excerpts from old-time radio shows performed live and broadcast May 23 to May 30, 1937. Starring Don Ameche, Edgar, Bergen, and Charlie McCarthy, Dorothy Lamour, Mary Boland, W.C. Fields, Fibber, McGee and Molly, Cecil B. DeMille, Louis Vandenecker, Bing Crosby, Zasu Pitts, Bob Burns, Eddie Cantor, Jimmy Wallington, Jack Benny, Kenny Baker, Mary Livingston, the Phil Harris Orchestra, Don Wilson and Josephine Hutchinson, Jose Iturbi, and more. Featured songs include Dorothy Lamour and Charlie McCarthy, Let's Call the Whole Thing Off, Bing Crosby, How Could You, and Time on My Hands. These soundscapes are the result of the research phase of the When Radio Ruled historical documentary series. In order to find the best old-time radio excerpts to express the essence of the era, I listened to hundreds of hours of old-time radio broadcasts, looking for the most interesting bits. When I hear something outstanding, a song or a joke or a comedy sketch, a news report or an interview, I add it to a best-of clip reel so I can easily find all the best excerpts when creating the documentary. But not everything can get in the final version. For 1937, I boiled 6.3 days of programming down to 27 hours of excerpts, from which a little under 5 hours made the final cut. And it seems like such a waste. Listening to these clip reels is one of my favorite parts of the process. I don't remember what I put on each reel, so they contain one unexpected gem after another. And I want to share that experience with you. These excerpts are offered without commentary for your entertainment and education. So here are voices from 1937. Voices, sadly now silenced. Great performers, living again because you're listening to them perform live now.
The makers of Chase & Sanborn Coffee, a superb blend of the world's choice coffees and very reasonable in price, present Mary Boland, Dorothy Lamour, W.C. Fields, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Ray Middleton, Werner Jansen, Don Ameche. This is the Chase & Sanborn Hour.
With top hat and monocle, bad boy Charlie McCarthy is at large again, accompanied by his close friend and distracted guardian, Edgar Bergen, who does the talking for them both. Edgar, I don't know why a little scamp like Charlie, who spends so much time looking for trouble, should be so welcome, but he is.
Well, I do know, Don, that Charlie shouldn't be here at all today. The boy has tonsillitis, and he's trying to talk me out of it.
Oh, is that so? Well, what makes you so sure that I'm sick, huh?
Well, because you have a fever of 102.
Is that so?
Yes.
102?
Yes.
That's pretty good.
102 is very bad.
Well, it's the best I can do.
Oh.
If it makes 104, I'll sell.
And then what about your hemoglobin count?
My hemoglobin?
I say your hemoglobin count is 60.
Is that so?
Yes.
That's pretty good, huh?
No.
Oh?
No.
Is that bad, too?
That's bad, too.
Boy, I'm a wreck.
You should have from 90 to 100.
I wouldn't know where to keep them.
Keep what?
Those homely goblins.
No. Hemoglobin.
Globin.
Yes.
I don't know what it is. No.
Well, you're a sick boy.
Yes.
Yes. And I've already called for a nurse.
A nurse?
Yes.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. I'm going to have a nurse?
Yes.
Oh, ho, ho. Maybe I'm sicker than I think I am. Is she, or isn't she? Is she pretty?
Oh, yes, she's very pretty.
Yeah?
Yes, she's very pretty. In fact,
Now, don't you lie to me.
No.
I'm too weak to be disappointed. Well, what do you think is wrong with me, Doctor?
Well, I really don't know.
You don't know?
No.
That's a fine start you're making. You studied medicine, haven't you? Or is it just a whim of yours?
Oh, no. I've studied medicine for 8 years.
8 years?
Yes.
8 years.
Yes.
Didn't help, huh?
Oh, yes. But I will admit, in spite of my years of study,
Yeah.
there are times when I feel as if I don't know a thing about it.
Yeah, well, that's the way you impressed me.
Now, young man, I'm going to sound your chest and I'm going to examine your throat.
Yes. Check my oil, too.
Yes, I'll do it.
Will the examination take long?
The examination won't take long.
It won't take long?
No.
Well, I'll wait then.
All right.
You know, I have suffered, Doctor.
I believe so.
Oh, how I've suffered. Suffer. Oh, how I suffered. No one will ever know what I've gone through.
No.
I won't tell them.
I know.
I even suffer when I think of how I suffered.
Is that so?
Suffer all the time. I've suffered so long I don't think I'd feel good unless I was suffering.
Maybe not.
I don't mind suffering. It's just a pain I can't stand.
Is that?
Oh, well, that's the way it goes. Well,
Young man?
what is that thing, that instrument there? What do you stick those things in your ears for?
Oh, this instrument?
Uh-huh.
We call this a stethoscope.
Is that so?
Yes.
Well, what does it do?
Well, with this instrument, I can pick up the sound of your heart beating.
Is that so?
Yes.
I bet you can't get South America on it.
Oh, no. Young man, I'm afraid you're in rather bad shape.
Is that so?
Yes. I may have to do a tonsillectomy.
Oh, no. You're not going to do no tonsillectomy on me.
Well, now, it's not going to hurt you at all because I'm going to give you an anesthetic.
What's that?
Well, I have chloroform, ether, gas, and a local.
Uh-huh.
Now, what would you like?
A mint julep.
No.
Pardon me, Dr. Bergen?
Yes.
You called for me?
Yes, nice of you to hurry. You make a lovely-looking nurse, Miss Lamour.
Thank you, Doctor.
Lovely, simply lovely.
All right. I'm the patient, madam. I'm the one you're supposed to fuss around.
All right.
I may be sick, but I ain't dead.
All right. This is our patient, Charlie McCarthy.
How do you do?
Oh, so.
Yes. I think we have a tonsillectomy.
Oh, pleased to meet you.
No.
Do you think you'll have to operate?
Well, I'm going to paint his throat with silver nitrate solution and hope for the best. Will you give me the swab and the silver nitrate?
Yes, Dr. Bergen.
Make it two.
Yes, all.
Well, what does this stuff taste like?
Oh, a little like peppermint candy.
You don't have any bubble gum, do you?
No.
Is it strong?
No.
I don't need a chaser?
No. It's only a 2% solution.
Oh, the stuff's cut, isn't it?
Now you open your mouth.
Uh-huh.
Open wide.
What's that thing for with the cotton on the end of the stick?
Oh, this is a swab.
I don't have to swallow the whole thing.
Oh, no.
Well, you be sure and hang on to your end.
Oh, yes. Open wide.
Uh-huh.
Open wide.
Yeah. Well, come on. You want me to jump for it?
No. There it goes.
Oh, here it comes. That stuff's awful.
I think you'll be all right now in a few minutes.
I don't think I'll live that long. But I do think I better keep my nurse, Doctor, because I might have a relapse, you know.
Oh, no.
No?
No. I shall see that Dorothy gets home safely.
Oh, Doctor.
Oh, nurse.
Oh, nuts.
Things have come to a pretty pass. Our romance is growing flat. For you like this and the other, while I go for this and that. Goodness knows what the end will be. Oh, I don't know where I'm at. It looks as if we two will never be one. Something must be done. You say either, and I say either. You say neither, and I say neither. Either, either, neither, neither. Let's call the whole thing off. You like potato, and I like potato. You say tomato, and I say tomato. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. Let's call the whole thing off. But oh, if we call the whole thing off, then we must part. And oh, if we ever part, then that might break my heart. So if you like pajamas and I like pajamas, I'll wear pajamas and give up pajamas. For we know we need each other, so we better call the calling off. Let's call the whole thing off.
Oh, Miss Lamour, that song was lovely. Très lovely. Only you can sing it just right, my pretty one.
Thank you, but really, Charlie, I've heard you say that before.
Have I told you how frightfully lonely I was all alone in Hollywood?
Yes, you did. And then I suppose comes the lemonade.
I was coming to that, yes. You don't like lemonade?
Oh, sure. But not with you.
Oh, the girl is out of her mind. She spurns me. Rather cool this evening, don't you think, Miss Lamour?
Yes, there's a frost, if you can get it.
Oh, I get it, yes. I get it all right. But why this attitude? Just because of my few platonic friendships like Carol and May and Joan?
Oh, I've heard all about you. You're Casanova McCarthy, the heartbreaker of Hollywood.
I guess it's the gypsy in me. If I wasn't so darn good-looking, you know.
Charlie, this is the end.
You mean we've, our flaming romance is but a bunch of clinkers?
Yes, Charlie. Let's call the whole thing off.
Oh.
I say laughter.
And I say laughter.
You say after.
But you say after.
Laughter.
Laughter.
After.
After.
Let's call the whole thing off. I like vanilla.
And I like vanilla.
You sarsaparilla.
But you sarsaparilla.
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
Sarsaparilla.
Raspberry.
Let's call the whole thing off. But oh, if we call the whole thing off, then we must part.
And oh, if we ever part, then that might break my heart.
So if I go for oysters...
Well, I go for oysters.
Well, I still want oysters.
Throw away my oysters.
For we know we need each other, so we better call the calling off. Let's call the whole thing off.
Thank you, Dorothy, and curtsy to you, Charlie. And now...
Bum, bum, bum. Are you listening, Mother? Oh, the tintinnabulation of those bells. Oh, hello, Miss Boland. I'm Charlie McCarthy.
Not Casanova McCarthy of Hollywood.
The very same?
I think Casanova was quite a lover, don't you?
Yes.
Although he really wasn't as great a musician as Nero, was he?
Well, Werner Jansen is quite...
Yes, he is. Oh, I love the way he conducts. I just adore it. She absolutely terrifies me. I wonder what would happen if he pointed at the wrong instrument. That'd be most unfortunate. Oh, what were you saying, young man?
Oh, well, that was so long ago,
Oh, yes. Charlie McCarthy, the Casanova of Hollywood. That's such a cute name. Are you Spanish, not McCarthy?
They call me Don Juan McCarthy.
Don Juan.
That's right. Don Juan, and 3 to go.
Oh, they do? How interesting. I can see why they might say that. That look in your eye.
Oh, you've noticed it too, huh? Oh, why was I cursed with this fatal charm?
Now, your left eye looks the most Spanish. The pupil's darker.
Yes, a week ago they were both Spanish. And closed.
Are you an osteopath, Master McCarthy?
No, those guys rub me the wrong way. I'm not a chiropractor either.
Oh, a chiropractor, how nice. You know, I've often wondered what the chiropractor thinks about. What do you think about Master McCarthy?
Well, right now I'm beginning to think I like W.C. Fields.
Oh, you mean Willie? Uncle Willie? Yeah. Oh, he's such a charming man, such savoir-faire, such poise, such, what shall I say?
Such a nose. Honest, if he painted green stripes on it, it would look like an awning.
Yes, now that you bring it up, Uncle Willie has quite a nose, hasn't he? Would you call it Roman or not?
I did call it Redwood. That's what got me in trouble.
I must introduce you to Willie. You two will get along so well together.
I'm not so sure.
Oh, not so sure. Remember my motto. He who hesitates is lost.
Yeah, well, I'm not lost. I'm ruined.
Oh, Charlie, I'll call you when Mr. Fields wants to see you.
You mean I should wait here until Mr. Fields wants to see me?
Yes, Charlie, yes.
Yeah. Silver threads among the gold.
Clang, clang, clang. What is this sound I hear? The Redwood Nose is coming, its headlights drawing near. We love this jolly bumpkin for laughter that he yields. We greet with gladsome welcome our W.C. Fields. Well, Bill, how did you like my clang, clang, clang?
Don't even mention that. That's a baked one, Ameche. Means black bear.
All right, Bill. Ameche shall not clang tonight. Anyway, we're all one big happy family, aren't we?
I guess we are. I don't know. It isn't so happy, Don, when you analyze it.
Why, are you thinking about Charlie again this week, Bill?
Oh, not particularly Charlie, everybody. The musical highlight on the program has been airing disparaging opinions about me.
You mean Warner Jansen?
I don't mean Ann Harding. I heard Warner telling Mary Bogle the other day, Warner Jackson.
It's Warner Jansen and Mary Boland.
Okay, everybody knows that. I heard him telling her that he didn't think I had a very pretty voice. And I killed a song last Sunday.
Oh, now, Bill, Warner wouldn't say anything like that.
Yeah, well, he said I had a voice that sounded as though I was yodeling from the inside of a whiskey barrel out through the bunghole.
A bunghole baritone, huh?
Now, listen, Don, do I look like a man that was addicted to alcoholic stimulants?
Why, not at all. Not at all, Bill.
Oh, that's funny. I thought I did.
All right, then you do.
Don, I was just thinking about the time when I was a young man.
Oh, reminiscing, huh?
Yeah. Another thief and myself, another little chum and myself. One of a little chap, nice family, too. He lived with his grandmother over a saloon. She used to get blotto. What a gin hound.
His grandmother? Well, what happened, Bill?
Well, don't be impatient, please, Don.
Okay.
We went out one night for a stroll, when all of a sudden, to our great dismay and astonishment, my friend tripped over a basin down in the cellar and made a terrific racket.
What cellar?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you about it. We casually wandered into a stranger's cellar.
Well, who was the stranger?
If I'd have known who it was, he wouldn't have been a stranger, would he? Well, the man went down that owned the place. He heard the noise. He lit a candle.
A candle in a house?
Yeah, that was the early days, Don. It wasn't until 10 years later that Edison invented the electric light. Bell came in with the telephone. Fulton quickly followed with a steamboat. Automobiles began to run up and down the street. Zasu hung his head. He knew his day had gone. The days of the runaway horse were over. Automobiles were killing people instead.
Yeah, progress is remarkable, isn't it, Bill?
Pajamas came to take the place of the long woolen nightshirt, and the double-toed sock was still in the office.
Yeah, Bill, I know. But,
the rubber tire had taken the place of the dog.
The rubber tire had taken the place of the dog?
Yeah, a man found a piece of rubber tire in his sausage. We knew then that prosperity was just around the corner. The patent mousetrap.
Bill, look. Now, Bill, you were down in the stranger's cellar. Do you remember?
Oh, yes, thanks, Don. I'm glad you reminded me. The man reached for a can of prune whip. He wound up, and he let fly. The can hit me plumb on the bupkey.
The bupkey?
Yeah, the fight was on. Fight, fist to fly. See the gash right o'er my eye. The blood is gushing.
Gushing?
Yeah, gushing. Get a bag. Buy your coffee in a bag. I should have said rag. Go ahead. Say, Don, do you think that's why Chase and Sanborn put their coffee in bags, and in case of a fight like this, nobody gets hurt?
Well, that might be. I never gave it a thought.
Oh, Donald, how are you? I'm so glad we're all here together. So I can say this to all of us, for after all, I always say that we must all hang together.
Let me out of this.
Yeah, well. Now, but if we don't fail, we might none of us hang at all. Don't think so?
Well, yes, of course, Miss Boland. Bill, you know Mary, don't you?
Oh, yes, I know Mary. Hi, Mary. Hi. That's Mary Bergen, isn't it? You see your relative, Charlie Bergen?
Oh, Bill, it isn't Mary Bergen. It's Mary Boland. Charlie Bergen and Edgar, Charlie... Edgar...
Yeah. So it is. Yeah. That's fine. How are you, Mary?
Oh, I'm just wonderful, Willie. Just wonderful. And now I wanted to tell you for a little surprise, a simply scrumptious surprise.
Nothing surprises me. Go ahead.
I found you a new companion. He's so anxious to meet you and shake you by the nose.
Here it comes.
Oh, dear, how silly of me, how silly of me. Of course, I meant by the hand, Bill.
Yeah, the nose nicely safe there.
He's a chiropractor, and he wants to be your bosom friend. As Kipling always put it, the day is lost. That day without... Just a minute, I thought that day without a newfound fan. A newfound... say hello to Willie, Charlie.
Hello, Mr. Fields.
Hello, piece of grade B lumber.
Oh, dear, isn't Uncle Billy cute, Charlie? He always says the funniest things, and he's so distinguished. He has the most distinguished nose I ever saw.
Boy, she's asking for it.
You better keep his nose out of it, Miss Boland.
Yeah, keep my nose out of it and yours, too.
I think friendship is such a wonderful thing. It makes people so friendly. Don't you think so, Willie?
Who cares?
Now, really, Willie, you are not yourself tonight. I don't know who you're, but you're not yourself. Do you feel well? Charlie, ask Willie how he feels.
I should know better, but here it goes. How do you feel, Mr. Fields?
I feel all right. You want to make anything out of it? You ever see a kid like that? He always wants to pick a fight. I'll saw his arm off.
Now, don't you worry, Charlie. I'll straighten this thing out.
Personally, I doubt it.
Oh, I've seen it happen so many times before. Some of the best friendships start with hatred.
Yeah, get worse.
I certainly had a good start.
Willie, I know in my heart of hearts that Charlie really and truly loves you.
Now, wait a minute. This has gone far enough. You're not going to start that again.
Now, Willie, that's really being very rude. I've tried to be the little spider that weaves the web of friendship, but no matter how nicely you insult people, they don't seem to understand it. No. I'm leaving. Come with me, Charlie. Come.
That makes it perfect. I'm glad to get rid of that kettle of fish.
Oh, now, look, calm down, Bill. Why don't you just forget all about Charlie?
I can't. There's a lot of elephant in me.
Oh, Bill. Look, haven't you found that story about an elephant never forgets to be a complete fallacy?
1,001 no's. On the contrary, now down at Paramount.
Bill, now I thought we understood each other. You were not to mention anybody's name.
Oh, all right, Don. Down where I work, you know what I mean. No sense in mentioning the name. Everybody knows it. Paramount.
Please, now, Bill, don't even whisper it.
No?
No.
Well, down there where we're making a picture about 20 years ago.
Well, I didn't know you were in pictures 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah. In those days, I was known as Little Baby W.C. I was a bit chubby, but strong.
What do you mean?
Dismiss it. We were shooting a circus scene in the picture. We had a whole herd of elephants. I came upon one monstrous beast, breathing in pain and trumpeting.
Bill.
Was I off key?
Yeah, slightly, but go on.
I perceived the great mammoth to run a carpet cat into a ponderous paw.
You mean foot.
I often wondered what they call it. And being an ardent lover of animals, I extricated the cat from Mousie's paw. That was her name, Mousie.
Oh, well, say, that was kind of you.
Yeah, well, 20 years later, we were still making retakes for the same picture. 3 directors had died of old age. 1 died of ennui. And scurvy began to show its ugly head. The old spirit of look thy neighbor, the old spirit of carry on, was still with us.
Now, look, Bill, getting back to the elephant.
Oh, yes. Well, the elephant looked up at me. She recognized me. Her face lit up in it like a church. Can you imagine a great pachyderm's face lit up? What radiance! The entire scene was bathed in effulgent light.
Say, that's very poetic, but what happened?
Ah, yes, the elephant never forgets. She lifted her proboscis.
Her what?
Her trunk, pardon me if I get too literary. The elephant entwined the Greek trunk around my fragile body. I was fragile in those days, tipped the beam at 120 in the raw.
Say, it's pretty light for you, Bill.
I used to be a reindeer jockey.
A reindeer jockey?
Never mind, I was fragile through worry. A dear old aunt of mine, whom I'd never seen, died in Bulgaria.
In Bulgaria?
Drinking buttermilk. During the Indian uprising.
Oh, now look, go on, Bill, please.
Ah,
What
yes.
did the elephant do?
That's right, yes. We were in a circus. The elephant lifted me out of what she thought was the 10-cent seats and deposited me in what she believed to be the dollar seat.
Well, that's an excellent way of repaying her debt of gratitude.
Oh, yes, I have dedicated the following verse to the elephant. Pachyderm, blow thy trumpet. Drink this bucket of tea and crumpet.
Say, you know, Bill, I'm surprised that you don't make a life work out of this beautiful poetry you write.
Ah, yes, read my book.
Your book?
Yes, a cherry little volume entitled Epitaphs on Tombstones, or Fun in the Cemetery. Don't miss it if you can. May I give you a few samples?
No, don't bother, Bill.
Here is Epitaph, page 197.
Bill.
I loved my mother. I hated to leave her.
Bill.
But what could you do with scarlet fever?
Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
Another on page 106.
That's fine, Bill.
Here
Thanks.
lies the mother of 28.
Thank you, Bill.
There might have been more.
Goodbye, Bill. Goodbye.
Thank
Thank you, Bill. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Back to page 4.
Thank you. Goodbye, Bill. Goodbye.
Here lies remains of
Goodbye, Bill. Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you very much, W.C.
What do you want me to do now, Molly?
Well, you go over to the creek there and fill the lemonade jar with water.
Okay. Dear old lookout now.
Now, where did I put those peanut butter sandwiches? Oh, yes.
Hello there, Mrs. McGee.
Oh, Mort Toops, you startled me.
What you doing, having a picnic?
Well, we were up to now.
Never cared much for 'em myself. Knew a fellow once who was so crazy about picnics, he always kept the sugar bowl at home full of sand. Wasn't that a pip? That bowled me over. Always liked to get out into the woods here and think up stuff. Some of my best jokes have been thought up out here.
Yeah, I've heard some of your open-air jokes, Mort.
Open-air jokes. That's pretty good. Hey, I heard a socko down at the sawmill. One fella says, he said, get a load of this now. He says, what's the matter with your arm? And the other fella says, a red ant. And the first fella said, a red ant bit ya? And the other fella said, no. A red ant and the adverse and the arm's paralyzed. I'm going home now and crawl down the chimney and pick up a hot one.
Before starting our play, let me say that from all I hear, Lux Flakes seem to be mighty popular with modern brides. They're not going to risk dishpan hands if they can help it. They know that we men don't like red, rough hands. Such a hand feels coarse and unpleasant, makes a man wince inside, so naturally he tries not to show it. Mrs. John McGuire, who was married this year, puts it very well when she says,
maybe men respect them, but believe me, they don't admire dishpan hands. I'm not going to have them, thanks to Lux.
As Mrs. McGuire knows, Lux guards against dishpan hands. It has no harmful alkali to dry and roughen the skin. You'll find it speeds up dishwashing, too. I turn the microphone over now to Hollywood's celebrated producer and starfinder. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cecil B. DeMille. I am privileged to introduce a soldier who served under 3 national banners, the Belgian, French, and Polish. He spent 7 years in the French Foreign Legion, campaigning in Algeria, Morocco, Indochina, and the Sahara, rising to the rank of sergeant. In the World War, he became a lieutenant, was severely wounded, underwent 23 operations, and received several decorations, including knighthood in the French Legion of Honor. In recent years, he's been a military technical advisor in Hollywood. He worked for me on The Crusades, and most recently on Paul Muni's picture, The Life of Émile Zola. Ladies and gentlemen, a true soldier of fortune, Lieutenant Louis Vandenecker.
My thanks, Mr. DeMille. I suppose a lot of people are wondering what crime I committed to have joined the Legion. If I disappoint you, I'm sorry. But the law and I have never had any arguments. Men join the Legion for one reason: adventure. Criminals are not found in the ranks, and if one of them manages to join, he is soon arrested by civil authorities.
It was my impression that they ask no questions when you join the Legion.
That's true, but that does not keep criminals that does not keep police from chasing criminals.
What are the qualifications then for enlistment?
Only two. You have to be of age and in excellent health.
In our play, Van, we mention Ain Sufra and Saida. Do those towns mean anything to you?
A great deal. I served many months at both places. In fact, at Ain Sufra, there is a bottle embedded in the wall of one of the buildings. In it is a slip of paper with my name and the date. Just a souvenir I left behind.
As one who encountered the Arabs many times, what's your opinion of them as fighters?
Very high. Arabs have no fear. They believe that if they die fighting, they will go to paradise with many pretty girls. We had our hands full many times, and I've been just as scared as anyone could be. When marching, the legionnaires are always in square formations, ready for instant trouble. And at night, they pitch their camps in square formations too. They are never without their rifles or their picks and shovels.
No, their overcoats, judging from what I've seen. Why overcoats in the desert?
Because the coat acts on the same order as a thermos bottle. It keeps the heat out.
Well, after 7 years in their ranks, then, what's your most vivid memory of the Legion?
Their wonderful spirit of comradeship. They will not only risk their lives to save a wounded comrade, but there is case after case of as many as 6 men going to their death trying to recover the body of a dead comrade, rather than let it fall in the enemy's hands. In the Legion are men of every race, color, and religion under the sun. Men of every profession, living together, fighting together as brothers. If the world wants an example of brotherhood to follow, let the world look to the French Foreign Legion.
Thank you, soldier. Standing beside me now is a woman known to theatergoers for many years. First as a dancer, then as producer of the famous Fanchon and Marco stage shows. From among her performers have risen such stars as Myrna Loy, Janet Gaynor, Lida Roberti, Martha Ray, and Mary Lewis. Her career reached a new high a few days ago when Paramount released Turn Off the Moon with Eleanor Whitney, Johnny Downs, and Charles Ruggles. It was produced by our guest and goes down in picture history as the first film ever produced by a woman at a major studio. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Fanchon.
For many years, ladies and gentlemen, the two names, Cecil B. DeMille and Lux, have meant a great deal to me. In fact, Mr. DeMille gave me my first chance to direct dances in pictures.
Miss Fanchon staged the Candy Ball for me in a film called The Golden Bed back in 1925. But she didn't continue in pictures very long. Didn't you like them, or didn't you like DeMille?
I assure you that it was only the pictures. Today, however, with the best in stories, actors, and photography, and with men like you still at the helm, I'm sure there's no medium of entertainment like the screen.
You also mentioned Lux a moment ago.
I can't say too many nice things about Lux Flakes.
Do you mean you can think of something that your former orchestra leader, Melville Ruick, hasn't already said?
Well, I can say that at one time, Marco and I had as many as 1,000 girls performing throughout the country in our stage shows. And do you know, Mr. DeMille, that a part of the equipment of each of those girls was a box of Lux Flakes? It's by far the best way of keeping costumes beautifully fresh, and it's especially good for silk stockings. I've used Lux countless times myself when Marco and I were starting out. It was more important to me to keep my costumes looking right than it was to eat. When it came to deciding between a hamburger and a box of Lux, my stomach was usually the loser. That's what I think about Lux.
Well, as the first woman to produce a major studio picture, what do you think makes a good film?
Well, I hope to show that in my next two pictures, Summer Romance and Argentine Love. I believe in youthful romance and comedy, music, and dancing. In other words, an entertaining, light, happy production. I found out that about 99% out of 100 people that step up to that box office to buy a ticket do so because they want to be amused. I'm going to try to satisfy them.
Education has some place on the screen, too.
Yes, but a tearful story can educate just as much as preaching. Such a story teaches everyday practical things like what's new in clothes, in dances, and an appreciation of good music. It teaches good manners, how to talk honestly, and how to live honestly. Lots of people turn to pictures as an escape from ordinary and very often sordid circumstances. They need hope and a little cheering up, a little laugh. And that's what I'm going to remember as long as I'm producing pictures. And now, Mr. DeMille, and all of you, my thanks.
Good philosopher, Madam Producer.
The Kraft Music Hall, starring Bing Crosby, with Jimmy Dorsey and his orchestra, the Paul Taylor Choristers, and tonight, back from his 2 weeks fishing trip, Bob Burns. And as Bing's special guest this evening, one of the screen's most charming comedians, Miss Zasu Pitts, Miss Gail Patrick, star of Paramount Pictures, and Rudolph Gons, one of America's leading pianists. And here's Bing Crosby.
Just when romance got a start, you decided it was time to part. How could you? How could you? It was on a night like this. You left me, didn't leave me a kiss. How could you? How could you? You know that love is just like apple pie. It's either sweet or tart. How you could be the apple of my eye. You upset the apple cart. I was looking forward to all the little things you didn't do. How could you break my heart? Apple pie, it's either sweet or tart. How you could be the apple of my eye. You upset the apple cart. I was looking forward to all the little things you didn't do. How could you break my heart?
Bing, you know, I've always said, thank you. I've always said that when a woman gets her mind made up to do something, don't try to cross her. Now, you go ahead and croon, Zazu, if you want to, and I'll start it off on my bazooka.
I was afraid of that.
Now, I can tell you that thing's not going to help me one bit.
Well, it don't exactly send me either, Zazu.
Could you just hum a little, Bing, and get me started?
Well, we struggle to please. Swing out on this. Come to me, my melancholy babe.
Oh, that's enough. You can stop now. Come to me, my melancholy baby.
You know, Bing, that's all I needed to make me appreciate how pretty you sing.
Thanks, Robin, but quiet, please.
That's all right. I'll go right on. Usually people don't let me get that far. Cuddle up and don't be blue.
Hey, wait a minute. Pardon me, Zazu. What is giving you this sudden urge to maltreat poor melancholy baby?
Well, I'm about to make a picture for Mr. Wanger.
Oh, yes, he's the fellow who said you sang sweet.
Yes, and he's making a picture called 52nd Street. And they're writing a song in it that I'm supposed to sing. It's called 23 Skidoo.
Oh, boy, sure a keen title.
It's the new slang. I'm supposed to sing it with a man.
Want to sing it with a man? Anybody we know?
I really couldn't say it. One man one day and another man the next. It's been going on like that for weeks. All your tears are foolish fancies, maybe.
You know, I can see why they might have trouble finding a singer for that part.
Oh, Bob, you're so understanding. You know, dear, that I'm in love with you.
At this point, friends,
I wish people wouldn't always intrude when I'm singing. Every cloud must have a silver lining.
Oh, wait until the sun shines through.
Attaboy, Bing, let yourself go, boy.
Smile, my honey dear, while I kiss away each tear.
Duck, Bing, here comes the last line.
Well, before the last white line is crossed, take it, Ken.
Tonight, the Kraft Music Hall presents Miss Zasu Pitts as...
You know, that takes me back to the days when I was just a nipper, way back in 1930. Doesn't sound like so long ago, but that was the year a few daring women were just beginning to paint their fingernails. Das is. 1930 was the year Bobby Jones, the Georgia squire, gave the golf situation a pretty thorough looking into and walked off with all 4 of the major championships. The famous Grand Slam and a record that still stands. Marie Dressler and Polly Moran were appearing in a picture called Caught Short, which helped a lot of people forget what had happened to them the year before down on Wall Street. Commander Richard Evelyn Byrd spent New Year's Day at the South Pole in 1930. The University of Southern California put in a profitable afternoon that same day, defeating Pittsburgh in the Rose Bowl. Philadelphia won the World Series from St. Louis, and every singer who had access to a microphone was broadcasting something like this. Do you remember? Time on my hand, you in my arms, nothing but love in view. And if you fall once and for all, I'll see my dream come true. Moments to spare for someone you care for, one love affair for 2. Oh, I've got time on my hands and you in my arms and love in my heart, all for you. I'm on my hand, you in my arms, nothing but love in you. Then if you fall once and for all, I'll see my dream come true. Moments to spare for someone you care for, one love affair for 2. Oh, I've got time on my hands and you in my arms and love in my heart, all for you. With time on my hands and you in my arms, the fellow's certainly going to be busy for a jiffy or two, so I'll just leave the situation in the hands of a very capable gent. Take it off my hands, will you, sir?
Cheerio, everybody. Cheerio, Jimmy. Tally-ho, toodaloo, and pip-pip.
So you're really going English tonight, eh, Eddie?
Yes, Jimmy. Tonight this broadcast is being sent by shortwave all the way to England. Instead of a coast-to-coast hookup, tonight it's a heart-to-heart broadcast from the heart of America to the heart of a great empire.
You know, Eddie, it certainly is a thrill for us, and I'll bet the English people are getting a big kick out of it, too.
I guess they are, Jimmy. Look, here is a last week's London newspaper that a friend sent me.
Uh-huh.
Just read that headline, Jimmy.
Okay. England will hear Eddie Cantor's songs and jokes. Well, look what it says right next to it.
Yeah, let me see. God save the king. Anyway, you know, it's a great thrill to stand here and talk to England. Just think of it, James. My jokes are going over to England on the air.
Oh, no, wait a minute. You mean going back to England?
Yeah?
Yeah, those same jokes came over here with the Pilgrim.
Yep, quiet. So you're making fun of my comedy, huh?
Well, frankly, when you stop telling those jokes, it'll be a relief for me.
Jimmy, when I stop telling those jokes, it'll be on relief for you.
Wait a minute, wise guy. You're not the only one here. Don't forget my voice is going across the Atlantic Ocean tonight, too.
Yeah, pity the poor sailors on a night like this.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
With you on the air, it'll be the biggest wind that ever swept across the Atlantic Ocean.
Well, let's not argue, Eddie. You know, after all, tonight you're an ambassador of goodwill.
That's right, James. And so I propose a toast to our friends over there. Here's to merry England. You have heavy fog, it's true. We have fog in California, but here we call it dew. Today is Memorial Day, and all America pays tribute to her fallen soldiers. 19 years ago, we fought in what we hope will be our last war. Under the flag-draped casket lies an unknown soldier. A nation pays him great honor. An unknown soldier, nameless. Just one of the soldiers who wore his country's uniform and died in her service. For him, the flag hangs at half-mast. For him, the solemn strains of the funeral march. For him, the uncovered heads and the orations. For him, the reverence and the tears of a great people. An unknown soldier? No, no, no. You knew and loved him. He played with you, carried you on his shoulder. He passed you daily on his way to work down at the corner, or in the city, or on Granddad's farm. Don't you remember him now? Why, child, he's the one that didn't come back the day the boys marched home. The band playing, the flags flying, and all the mothers and sisters cheering, and the fathers jumping up and down and shouting madly. He's the one the gold star is for that hangs in the hall. Remember him now? That's the boy. For him the flag is lowered. For him the heads are uncovered. For him America proudly mourns. Her unknown son.
And, Kenny, I must tell you, last Sunday I heard you sing that number you wrote. What's the name of it again?
You Are My Love.
That's it. It was beautiful. I'll have to play it on my violin sometime.
Oh, Jack, it's my first song.
Well?
Let her grow up before you kill it.
You two have a lot of respect for an invalid. And now, ladies and gentlemen, who committed this crime? Was it the butler?
I didn't do it, I tell you. I didn't do it.
Was it the French maid?
Ooh la la, viva la corpse.
Was it Bing Crosby? No, but he mentioned my name last week. And now the wife, Mrs. Crossmere. Did you kill your husband?
I hated him. I loathed him. I despised him. So that night I...
Stop! We can't give it away now, folks. But this mystery will go on immediately after the next number. Play, Phil, and make it snappy. Our listeners must be on the edge of their seats. Don't fall off, folks. By Phil Harris and his orchestra. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for our mystery play, Murder at Midnight, or When My Dreamboat Comes Home. The opening scene is the office of Detective O'Benny at police headquarters. Curtain. Phone call. I mean music. Hello? Police headquarters.
Let me talk to Detective O'Benny.
That's me. What is it?
My name is J. Wellington Krutzmere.
Well, there's nothing I can do about that. What's on your mind?
I got a hunch I'm going to be murdered.
What makes you think so?
My wife is always pointing a gun at me.
Well, when she pulls the trigger, let me know.
All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Anything wrong, Cap?
Oh, some fella thinks he's going to be murdered.
Is he?
I hope not. The boys are delivering beer in the patrol wagon. Hello? Detective O'Benny speaking.
This is Mrs. Crossmere. Were you just talking to my husband?
Yes, nice chap.
He sure was.
Now, what do you mean?
Come over at once. I think he's been shot.
Your husband shot? What makes you think so?
He's laying on the floor, and there's an extra buttonhole in his shirt.
There is, eh? Well, I'll be right over. And don't make any more buttonholes till I get there.
Okay, Cap, bring some White Rock.
Right. Goodbye.
What happened, Cap?
Crotchmere was right.
So was Barnum.
Yes, and they're both dead. Well, we got to do something about that. You take Barnum, and I'll take Crotchmere.
No, you take Barnum, and I'll take Crotchmere.
Barnum,
Crotchmere, Barnum. Let's call the whole thing off.
No, we can't do that. We got to get over there at once and investigate. Follow me, Harris.
Righto, Cap.
Take care of the office, Lieutenant.
Okay.
Come on, Sarge. Let's go.
Better take your pill first, Mr. Benny.
Oh, all right, Doc. Come on, Sarge. We're off. Cap O'Benny rides again. Well, here we are, Sarge. This is the place, all right. Open up in the name of the law.
This is police headquarters.
Doggone it, I forgot to release the brake. Well, let's try again. be the place, Sarge.
It better be. We're out of gas.
Open up. Come on, open the door. I'll break it down.
Well, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, eh? Make a note of that, Sarge.
Okay, Cap.
You're the butler, aren't you?
How do you know?
Your uniform is a dead giveaway. Now, come on, you. Where's the body?
You mean Mr. Crotsmer's?
Yes.
Well, he's right there on the floor.
Thanks. Follow me, Sarge.
Yeah, man.
Musicians are all alike. Who's this? Wait a minute. Are you Mrs. Crotsmere?
No, I am the maid.
Yeah, what's your name?
Fifi.
Your last name?
Poo-poo.
Fifi Poo-Poo?
Wee-wee.
Wee-wee? Make a note of that, Sarge.
Woo-woo.
Sergeant. Now, Fifi, bring Mrs. Crotsmere in here.
Here I am, Cap, fit as a fiddle and ready for a new husband.
Oh, yeah? I want to talk to you, madam.
Go ahead, Blue Coat. Take a load off your feet and sit down.
Thanks. Out!
What's the matter, Cap?
I've been looking for that badge all day.
Oh.
Now, Mrs. Crotsmere, where were you at the time of the murder?
In back of the gun, minding my own business.
So you did have a gun, eh?
Yes.
Where'd you buy the bullets?
At Bullock's Wilshire.
That's a local gag, folks, but it fits. Now, listen, Mrs. Crotsmere. I want the whole story from you right from the start, and I want the truth. Get it, the truth.
Okay, Bloodhound. My husband and I were sitting in the den. He was behind his desk cleaning his pipe.
Yes, go on.
When suddenly a shot rang out. I looked toward the window, and there I saw...
Beg pardon, madam. Are we having Jell-O for dinner?
Yes, Jenkins.
Any particular flavor?
A little of each, and be sure that it's genuine Jell-O with the big red letters on the box.
Make a note of that, Sarge.
Gotcha, pal.
Now, go ahead, Mrs. Crotsmere. What did you see?
Well, I looked out of the window, and there in the moonlight I saw shadows running across the lawn.
Oh, moonlight and shadows, eh? Must have been making a dash for the hit parade. Make a note of that, Sarge.
Ain't worth it.
And then what happened, Mrs. Crotsmere?
I screamed and fired 2 shots.
2 shots, eh? I thought you were lying. Now listen, gal, you're coming with me. And what's more, you're coming without a struggle.
I never struggled yet, big boy.
Then slap the bracelets on her, Sarge. Now, let's go. Now, wait a minute. Hold everything. No one move. Come in.
It's time for another pill, Mr. Benny.
I haven't got time for that, Doc. Now, get out of here. Come on, Sarge, and take Mrs. Crotsmere with you. What was that? Look, Sarge. Someone threw a stone through the window.
Yes, Captain, there's a note tied around it.
A note, eh? What does it say?
Hillside 5027.
That nurse again. She sure gets around. Come on, let's go. Wait a minute, Sarge. Wait a minute, there's the phone. Maybe it's a clue. I'll take it. Hello? Yes? Yes? What? Who? Cactus Face?
Cactus Face?
Doggone it, we got the wrong last page. What'll I do now?
This will be concluded next Sunday night. Will the murder be solved? Will they find the right page? Will Jack's doctor run out of pills? Listen in next Sunday night and find out. Play Pill.
This is the last number of the 35th program in the new Jell-O series. We're with you again next Sunday night when we will finish our thrilling mystery. So be sure and listen in. Come on, Mary, you going home?
Take my handcuffs off first.
Oh, yes, that's right. Good night, folks.
J-E-L-L-O.
The makers of Chasen Sanborn Coffee, the blend of the world's choice coffees, which is now so very reasonable in price, present Josephine Hutchinson, Dorothy Lamour, W.C. Fields, Jose Iturbi, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Werner Jansen, Don Ameche. This is the Chase and Sanborn Hour.
With Top Hat a little on one side and monocle a bit foggy, Charlie McCarthy is still at large, followed anxiously by Edgar Bergen, without whom Charlie would just be a funny-looking wooden doll. But with two-voiced Edgar Bergen to speak for him, Charlie is well on the way to earning the title of Public Nuisance number 1. Nevertheless, we're all very fond of Charlie, and we hope he is fully recovered from last week's slight indisposition.
No, Don, I'm sorry to say that Charlie is not improved. And although I've done my best as a practicing physician...
Yes. I wish you'd stop practicing.
Yes. I'm sorry, Charlie, but your tonsils, they must come out.
Is that so?
Yes.
You mean you'll have to?
I'm afraid so.
But, Doctor, I feel better.
You do?
Yes. I feel better.
You do?
Uh-huh. I got you there, huh?
No.
I felt better as soon as I saw your slaughterhouse.
Wait a minute here. That doesn't make a bit of difference, young man. No.
Not even if I feel good?
Not even if you feel good.
Oh, you hate to lose a customer, don't you?
Yes, I know. Yes.
Well, now, let's talk this thing over, Doctor.
Yes.
I suggest we postpone this thing until tomorrow, huh?
No.
Let's get an early morning start at the crack of dawn around 11:30.
No. I think we better do it now.
But I would much rather do it tomorrow.
It doesn't make any difference what you'd rather do.
Oh, doesn't it?
Not a bit.
Uh-huh. Well, that's another way of looking at it. I thought maybe as a favor.
No, wouldn't make a bit of difference.
I certainly got a drag around here.
Yes. You understand, young man, I'm trying to help you.
That's good of you.
Yes.
I guess there's no use kidding myself. I have suffered.
Of course you have.
Oh, how I've suffered. Oh, I suffer all the time.
Yes.
But it doesn't help.
No.
I don't think I'm suffering right.
Maybe you're not.
There must be a knack to it.
Yes.
Yesterday I was so weak, Doctor. I was so weak I couldn't even raise my voice.
Is that so?
I just sat and hung my head. That's the only exercise I had. How much do you charge for an operation like this, Doctor?
Well, of course, I always try to be considerate.
Well, that's nice.
Yes. For this operation, I will charge anywhere from nothing at all up to $300.
Is that so?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I'll take one for nothing at all. And don't skimp on anything either.
No.
I want hand sewing and all that sort of thing.
Yes.
Yes, that's me all over.
Oh, Miss Lamour, are the instruments sterilized?
Yes, Dr. Bergen, they're boiling.
So nice. Yes, I have everything ready for the operation, so let's proceed.
Yes. Oh, nurse, why are you and the doctor all dressed up in white?
For your operation.
Is that so? That's nice of you. Yes. I didn't know I was going to have a formal opening. Oh. I should have worn my tuxedo.
Yes, you should.
I'll wear a black dress if you like, Charlie.
No, I think you look much better in white. With you for my nurse, I'm going to be sick for a long time. My beautiful one.
Your eyes are like it. That will do, young man.
Yes.
Put your head down.
Yeah, well, don't push me. Don't push me, you hear?
All right.
Don't shove.
All right.
I'll clip you.
All right.
I'll mow you down.
All right.
Get the idea?
I get the idea.
Yes. I'm a customer here.
Yes, I know.
I want service and courtesy.
Yes, all right.
What's the idea of covering me up, nurse?
You must keep nice and warm.
Oh. I'm not cold. Not yet. I may be cold by tomorrow. I don't feel so hot now.
Oh, that's too bad. How's your pulse?
Oh, just ducky. How's yours?
The anesthetic, please.
I don't want any of that stuff.
Oh, it won't hurt you at all. You'll drift on and on into oblivion.
Is that so? I hope it's a round trip.
Now, don't forget to count every time you take a breath.
Yeah, I'll fool you. I won't breathe. Oh, doctor.
Yes, Charlie?
If the worst should come to the worst.
Yes.
If I should decease her.
Yes.
Would you see that Skinny Dugan gets my bicycle?
Oh, I see. If you die, you want to leave your bicycle to Skinny Dugan.
Yes. He's my pal.
Well, I shall see that Skinny will get your bicycle.
Yes. What?
Well, of course. Only if you should die.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you don't have to go out of your way, you know.
No. Put your head down.
Yes.
Now let me cover your eyes.
Uh-huh.
Now start counting.
1, 2. Oh, I smell embalming fluid.
Now take a nice, deep breath.
I can see Skinny riding my bicycle. Oh, redwood for a nose. Oh, I'll get even with Fields. That Bergen's a fake, too. Clang, clang. I feel so foolish.
Good evening, Dr. Bergen. I heard you were operating, and I just dropped in to see if there were any prospects.
Glad you called. Stand by, Mr. Gearfob.
Oh, well, where am I? How long have I been sleeping? Is the operation over?
No, Charlie, we haven't started yet.
No?
No. I want you to meet my very good friend here, Mr. Don Ameche Gearfob.
No.
The Undertaker.
Whoa! Wait a minute, aren't you a little early here?
Is it?
Say, is this operation serious?
Oh, no.
No? Have you lost many patients, Doctor?
Only 2 of my patients have died.
Only 2?
Uh-huh.
How many have you had?
You're my 3rd.
Yeah, let me out of here.
It's easy to see why Jose Iturbi is acknowledged as one of the world's greatest pianists.
That's true, Mr. Ameche. Very true. But can he play chopsticks?
Well, with enough practice, Charlie, I really believe he can. But you'll have to postpone that burning question for a while. Jose Iturbi is going to play again later.
Yeah, I'll postpone, but I'll ask you, betcha.
Yes, I bet you. But why don't you just forget the whole matter while we hear from Donald Briggs? And speaking of old devil trouble, here comes Charlie McCarthy. Say, Bill, I don't think you ought to continue having any arguments with him. Everybody's talking about your feud.
I wouldn't dignify him by having a feud.
Oh, no. Don't be vindictive, Bill.
I'm not vindictive, but I certainly don't want that cord of wood on my knee. If Bergen wants to sit there, it's okay. But I don't want any part of him, Don. Did you ever get oak poisoning?
No.
Now, I'll look out for that guy.
Bill, I really believe he...
Oh, don't talk nonsense. You'll get people to thinking I don't like the rat.
Bill, will you shake hands with him?
And get splinters in my fingers? Positively no. Why, that little rat...
Quiet. Wait a minute, Bill. Well, hello, Charlie.
Oh, hello, Mr. Ameche. Hello, Mr. Fields.
Watch me being polite. Greetings, my diminutive little chum. I trust you are feeling fit this evening?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Fields. I hope you're feeling fit.
I am, fit to be tied.
Well, Mr. Fields, I brought you a bouquet of flowers.
What you talking about now?
As a token of my friendship, a little nosegay.
Here it comes.
I hope you'll like it.
I've taken enough from that guy.
Why, what's the matter, Bill?
Look at that nosegay. Dog blossoms, poison ivy, and redwood for a nosegay.
Redwood for a nosegay, and an ample bit of it, too.
Go away, or I'll throw a grub on you.
Now, Bill, don't be too angry with Charlie. He isn't feeling well today. He needs a doctor.
He needs a tree surgeon. He didn't know when I was reading to Dorothy Lamour about burning of redwood at the opening of the new San Francisco Bridge. I heard him say, Fields better keep his nose out of that. Go away, leprosy. Now, did I ever tell you the director of our picture got leprosy?
No.
Yeah, they sent him to Molokai. We had to keep the extras on at half salary.
The extras at half salary?
Yeah, for 18 years. Pending the director's recovery.
Well, did he ever recover?
Oh, yes. The day he got back, the extras formed a group. making a welcoming speech and presented him with a fitted portmanteau. That means traveling bag.
Yes, I know.
I thought you did. Did I ever tell you about my grandmother's portmanteau? This was my grandmother on my father's side. She was on his hip for years. A great companion. She was a drunkard, too.
Bill, they gave the director a portmanteau.
Oh, yeah, you know about it, eh?
No, I'm merely quoting you.
Oh, they gave him a completely fitted portmanteau, a grip, satchel, cabba, keister, you know.
Yeah, I know, Bill. Are you
well,
going on?
It was fully equipped with sleeping shoes, Eskimo mucklocks, folding golf clubs, a wire-haired brush, a wire-haired terrier to match, an old-fashioned razor, a set of dueling pistols, and a picture of the great commoner, William Jennings Bryan.
Imagine the extras putting together their little mite to show their gratitude and regard for that director.
Yeah, they also gave him a letter in a lavender envelope, fully scented, demanding double pay and leprosy insurance.
Well, that was only fair.
But now comes the interesting part of the picture. 2 elephants.
Excuse me, Bill.
One is the
Excuse me,
spell
Bill.
and
Just
the
a
other
minute.
is the pen.
I'd like you to meet Miss Hutchinson.
Oh, yes. How do you do, Miss Hutchinson? How are you? 2 elephants.
Bill.
What?
This is Miss Josephine Hutchinson. This is Mr. Fields, Miss Hutchinson.
How do you do, Mr. Fields?
Oh, yeah. How are you? 2 elephants, Don.
Bill. You know Josephine, don't you?
Oh, yes. I knew Napoleon, too. My father owned 2 skeletons of Napoleon.
Yeah, I know. One when he was a little boy and one when he was grown up.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm beginning to like Charlie McCarthy.
Oh, Mr. Ameche, can I ask Mr. Iturbi now?
Now is the time, Charlie. Mr. Iturbi, I want you to meet Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
How do you do? This is a great honor, Mr. Iturbi.
Thank you, Mr. Bergen.
That goes double for me. Yes, it does. And incidentally, Mr. Iturbi, we have a great deal in common.
Really? Don't tell me.
Yeah. Yes, I too am a pianist. And why shouldn't I be? I took lessons for 3 weeks. I paid as high as $1 for a half-hour lesson. Do you realize what that amounts to in 5 years?
But Charlie, you said you only studied for 3 weeks.
Well, that's a very short time, after all.
Yes, well, but it's a mess of do-re-mi, believe me.
I can sympathize with you, Maestro McCarthy, because in Europe I pay up to $1,000 for a lesson, you know?
Is he trying to make a punk out of me?
Yes, and Mr. Iturbi studied for 20 years.
Is that so? They must have nicked you for quite a hunk, huh?
Tell me, do you know Mr. Bach and Mr. Chopin?
I don't think they took lessons from my teacher. You see, it was only a sideline with her. She was married. Her husband worked at the filling station. You see that?
All right. Mr. Iturbi is not interested in all that. No.
I find Charlie very interesting. I beg your pardon. If he will tell me his favorite number, I will try to play for him.
See, now that's nice. Well, I don't want to embarrass you, Jose. Will 4 sharps throw you?
Wait a minute. It will be difficult, but for you, I'll try it.
All right. My favorite number is chopsticks. I used to knock him in the aisles with that number.
All right, but may I suggest Parsifal without the orchestra or with the orchestra?
Yes, you may suggest it, but I still want chopsticks.
And then there's Tchaikovsky's Symphony Pathétique.
Yes. Gentlemen, my mind is made up. It's chopstick, and I'm not to be dickered with.
Why must you be so rude, Charlie?
I haven't forgotten that $1,000 lesson crack he made.
I see.
And I don't think he can even play chopsticks. If any man, not to mention any names, if he can play it, I think he should come right out and say so rather than beat around the piano.
All right, okay. I accept. I'm going to play for you, chopsticks, but may I ask you, in which key do you prefer?
Getting technical, huh?
Well, Charlie, you've asked for it, and you're going to get it. Jose Iturbi plays chopsticks.
Thanks for listening to 1937 Part 10, the Soundscapes audio montage series number 19 from When Radio Ruled. I'm Mike Gillette, your host. When Radio Ruled and the Soundscape series are before TV productions. Copyright 2022.